for this world. Forever I'm that girl. Feed you diamonds and pearls.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Itstyra.j and I'm back with another video. So I know it's been a really long time since I've done my last YouTube video, but I wanted to start the new year off with pretty much being more consistent. So the first video I'm going to be pretty much doing is talking about moving to Atlanta, how my experience has been. I'm also gonna talk about a video that I made a couple months ago, also called Moving to Atlanta and Why I'm Leaving. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like this video at the end, leave a comment, follow me on all my social media platforms, all that good stuff. The first video I made, I pretty much was talking about how I didn't want to stay in Atlanta because of many reasons. I talked about like the dating experience. I talked about how God was moving me. I was going through a lot of stuff at the time, so I really felt like, you know, all the things that I was going through made me feel like this wasn't the right place for me. A couple months later, like let's say almost a year later, since everything that I've gone through and like, you know, a couple months away from me making that video, I do feel like Atlanta is the place for me to be at, especially for right now. I thought that God wanted me to get out of Atlanta because I was going through all the stuff that I was going through. But life took like a complete 360. I healed from a lot of things and I realized that, you know what, even though my first few years of being out here, I didn't have the best friendships, I didn't make the best relationships, and you know, I didn't really find my place in this city. I realized that like now, the rest of the year, like the last like 6 months of 2023 really kind of showed me that there's nothing wrong with it here. Like you really just gotta kind of find where you fit in and like go with that. So like I found a better work situation that worked for me. It put me in a place or a position to be able to do the things that I want to do. I'm keeping my discernment a lot higher now, so I definitely do want to like let you guys know that I do have a different mindset on all the negative things I thought about moving to Atlanta. If you haven't watched that first video, I suggest you go ahead and watch that after this video, or you can click and watch that and then come and watch this one. Whatever you do, just make sure you watch part 1 to this because this is now part 2. So first things first, I'm just gonna start with rent prices. When I wanted to move back home to New York or move to Houston or just find anywhere else to live other than Atlanta, it was because things were getting very expensive. I was working like my butt off. Like I was working like 2-3 jobs and I was super tired. I was sleeping like 4 or 5 hours a day, and you know, that's no life for a woman. I felt like I had to run. I felt like I wanted to find a new job in a new city, a job that paid more, and just change my entire life again. I feel like if you really find the job that's right for you or right for your living, like living within your means, I think that's very important. What I know now that I did not know then is how to live within my means. I found a nice apartment. I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked, and I knew that I didn't want like a rinky-dink apartment. I knew that I wanted something more modern, but I also am very reasonable. I wanted my life to like kind of reflect how I feel, like high maintenance, but like also be reasonable and understand that I'm not there yet. Like I'm not rich yet. I'm not at my peak yet. So I got the best versions of what I could afford. And that's pretty much what I did. I lived within my means. And some people's means may be a little less than mine, but that's okay too. Just like do the best at what you can do and like stay within that. It's not a race, it's not a competition. I promise you, a lot of people who have the nicest cars and the nicest apartments and are buying all this stuff, they're doing installments, like for their shopping sprees, they're doing installments for it. You know, like all these cars and stuff, somebody's paying for it. A lot of people are getting their rent paid. So don't feel like because you gotta get a $1,200 apartment out of Atlanta, do not feel like, you know, you're behind or you're doing bad. It's just living within your means. That way you don't struggle. I know me personally, I feel like I've gained some friendships that I do look at as like these people are like a dime a dozen and they're really good and they like, you know, they're good for me. They, you know, like they do what they need to do. I think that it's just like what you look for, what you put out there is what comes back to you. When I was being a lot more positive and I wanted a lot more of those positive relationships, a lot more of those positive relationships came to me. So the person that I'm dating now is not like the people that are the mass majority of people out here. And like, you know, the friends that I've made, you gotta make it make sense. If you're looking to move to Atlanta, just understand that not everything that glitters is gold. Like, I feel like from the outside looking in, when you're from anywhere else, you may think that Atlanta is like the black mecca. Like, you have like all these black owned businesses and like all these black people that are successful, and you got the influencers, and you got like, Atlanta has a lot of stuff here, and a lot of us come here and want to be a part of that. It's just understanding that before you move here, you're not gonna move to Atlanta and start being friends with like the top of the line A-list influencers and celebrities and stuff like that. That's just not how it works. There are a lot of celebrities in Atlanta. There are a lot of influencers in Atlanta. So if you do end up to be in certain settings or end up in those settings and end up being around them, so be it, cool. But if you are one of those people who want to come here to do certain things like that involve being like a socialite, understand that you're not gonna come here and it automatically happen. You have to like grow to that point. Like, it really takes like full on, like it takes the same steps that it would have took in your old city that it's going to take here. Now, do not think that moving to Atlanta is going to add this like boost of like success, because that's not the boost. That's just the move. Like, that's it. That's you taking yourself from one place and putting yourself in a different place. That does not do anything else but move you. Any change starts from you doing it yourself, not from where you go. In my old video, I did say that sometimes God moves you and like, you know, he wants you to go somewhere else. I do think that it's very easy to misconstrue your personal wants and your personal like anxieties and the feelings that you're having. It's easy to confuse that with, well, God wants you to do this. This is my calling. I think what God wants you to do is just not worry, and he wants you to relax and just see what life's course like does, and like just take your hands off. When I took my hands off of the situation, I ended up getting an opportunity to stay in Atlanta. I found a place that I could afford. That I love. Like, you know, I'm very comfortable where I'm at. I got a brand new car. Like, you know, I met new people. Like, I found a great partner. I have a puppy that is sleeping on my lap, but I gotta wake her up to show you guys. This is her, this lady. This is my baby. Camera. She has blue eyes too. So cute. But yeah, if you are patient, then good things will come your way. Do not come to Atlanta and think that your whole life is gonna change, because it's not. But then again, I can't take that away from everybody, because like maybe some people might come here and their whole life might change. Like, people might come here and like they meet the right person in the first month, and like they like, you know, they really put that work in, or, you know, everybody has a different story. Me personally, I feel like me coming from what I came from, like in New York, and I moved out here, I think that this is like the best bet for my life. Like, I think that I have upgraded my life in many ways. I took my life into my own hands. I trusted God. I moved, and you know, I can say that this has been a very crazy journey. A lot of bad has happened, a lot of good has happened, and I just feel like I'm ready to grow here. Like, I'm definitely ready to grow here. I don't think it's all that bad. I feel like if you are looking to move to Atlanta, just do it. Like, see what it's like for you. The worst thing that happens is you hate it, you move back home. Like, it's, you know, like, just see what it does. Even if you can't move back home, just wait it out. Good things take time, and you know, all the best things don't come so quickly. So, you know, just give it some time. I feel like when I was talking in my old video, I was talking about moving to Houston a lot, and I was talking about how prices and jobs and not being happy. You know, like, I think all those things have changed. So I really can't say that I feel the same way anymore. And that's why I really want you guys to go watch that video. I also want to give you guys hope that things do change. Like, life does change. Like, even look how I looked then. I was a lot sadder. I was not looking my best, and I felt like I was over it, and a lot of things were going on. And then look at me now with like a lot less stress. I'm in a better position, and I have a different mindset. So that is pretty much it for this video. If I do think of anything else, like, I think what I'm gonna do is make this a whole series. I promise you guys, I'm not gonna take as long as I did with the first moving to Atlanta vlog like video. This can be a whole series. Like, take it from me, I'm gonna talk to you guys about moving to Atlanta. I moved here with a person. You know, that whole thing didn't really work out too well. We could talk about a lot of things. Like, moving to I'm pretty much gonna touch base on everything with you guys, like the do's and the don'ts and all of that. So if you want a series, leave a comment down below. I feel like I have a lot to say, and a lot of young people especially do want to get up and move to different cities. This doesn't even only apply to Atlanta. This applies to like any major move you want to make to anywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment, please subscribe, and like this video. Follow me on all my social media platforms. I'm gonna be a lot more consistent this year. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.
When I get around you, I lose it.